or vow, as defined in the Philippine Magna Carta of Women, includes any act that harms women physically, sexually, or psychologically, whether in public or private. It stands for gender inequality and oppression. Unlike vow, gender-based violence against women is much rarer due to societal roles and physical differences. Types of violence against women. Number 1 is physical violence, the most visible form involving bodily harm or injury. Second is psychological violence, emotional manipulation causing mental suffering such as verbal abuse, public ridicule, marital infidelity, stalking, and forcing a woman to witness violence. Number 3 is economic abuse, depriving a woman of financial independence such as restricting access to money, preventing employment, or making her financially dependent. And lastly, sexual violence encompasses unwanted sexual acts including rape, marital rape, molestation, incest, and sexual objectification.
Forms of sexual violence. First is the rape. It's the force of coerced penetration of the vulva or anus using a penis. Body parts or objects, it includes spousal and gang rape. Lack of consent is key, particularly if the victim is intoxicated, drugged, incapacitated, a child, or has disabilities. Rape is about power and control, not just a sexual desire. Second is the marital rape. Rape is occurring within a marriage which is legally recognized but often overlooked due to cultural norms. Victims may be reluctant to report if due to suicidal pressure or family concerns. Third is the incest. Sexual acts between family members or trusted individuals, relatives, guardian, caregivers. Victims often remain silent due to fear, manipulation, or feelings of obligation. Fourth is the cultural practices leading to sexual violence. Child marriage, forcing minors into marriage, denying them to the ability to give informed consent and leading to health risks like STDs and teenage pregnancies. Female genital mutilation, the harmful practice of cutting or removing parts of females' genitalia, often performed in girls under 15, causing several health risks without medical benefits. Sexual harassment. Sexual harassment is a form of sexual violence that can occur outside the home, often in places like workplace or schools where the harasser has authority. It includes action like making sexual comments, catcalling, or spreading rumors. This can harm job or academic opportunities and is defined by the Philippine Anti-Sexual Harassment Law of 1995. Violence against women in public spaces. Street harassment is a sexual harassment that happens in public spaces without the need for prior relationship between the attackers and victim. It includes catcalling, sexual comments, unwanted gestures, blocking someone's path, groping, and indecent exposure. This action creates a hostile environment with women being the primary victims. Pornography, prostitution, sexual slavery, and sex trafficking. Pornography is the display of sexual content for money, often through videos, images, or other media. Some see it is a form of sexual expression, while others argue it exploits workers, especially women, who may face abuse and health risks. Feminists are divided. Some believe it is empowering while others think it is harmful. Prostitution is the exchange of sexual services for money, profit, or other benefits without requiring a personal relationship. Issues related to prostitution. Sex tourism, the use of sexual services as a selling point for tourism, where individuals travel to specific locations to engage in sexual activities. Escort services are also considered part of sex tourism. Sexual exploitation, the coercion or manipulation of individuals into prostitution or pornography due to force, deception, or lack of option. Sex trafficking involves the forced recruitment or movement of individuals, mainly women and children, into the sex industry through a coercion, deception, or abduction. Victims are often lured by false promises of employment, then trapped into an exploitative situation. Sex slavery, the forced involvement of individuals in the sex trade, often through abduction, debt, bondage, or false promises of legitimate employment. Spiritual violence. Spiritual violence occurs when religious or spiritual beliefs are used to manipulate, control, or harm women. This can involve restricting their roles, exploiting their bodies, or forcing them into a sexual abuse. Often in cult-like environment, it is rooted in cultural tradition that promote harmful perception of women and limit their freedom. While religion is meant to be about faith, these acts are often more about power, and control.
Good morning, everyone. I am Erica Jane A. Sugilon, and I will be a tackle about the other forms of violence. Reproductive or medical abuse. This involves violence related to pregnancy, childbirth, or reproductive choices. Women may be forced to get pregnant, use contraceptives, undergo abortions, or be denied information. About safe pregnancy and childbirth, medical abuse includes being concerned into unnecessary medical procedure like forced sterilization or C-section, or being used in medical experiments without consent. In intimate relations or AWIR, this refers to any form of harm or violence by a partner. Show that at least 1 in 3 women experience this violence, with up to 70% reporting their abuser as intimate partners. AWIR is recognized as a significant health issue affecting women's physical and mental well-being. Domestic violence. This happens in homes where there is an unequal power dynamic between the victim and the perpetrator, often between partners or family members. It can involve physical, emotional, or sexual violence. Children who witness or experience domestic violence are more likely to repeat this behavior as adults and may suffer from behavioral issues or end up in dangerous situations like trafficking. Next, I will tackle about the law of you. We have institutionalization of human rights. Post-martial law, the 1987 Constitution enshrined gender equality in the Philippines. Before, these women faced discrimination, limited legal rights, and were often subject to abuse. Second, proof of legal reforms. The 1995 Beijing Platform for Actions highlighted violence against women as a critical issue, driving the creation of new law. Next, key laws addressing Anti-Sexual Harassment Act 1995 address sexual harassment in workplaces and educational institutions. Rape Act 1997 expanded the definition and scope of rape. And next, Rape of Victims Assistance Act 1998 provided and support for rape victims. Next is Anti-Mall Order Bride Law 1990 prevented exploitation through international mall order bride arrangement. Anti-Trafficking in Person Act 2003 tackled human trafficking, particularly for sexual exploitation. Anti-Violence Against Women and Children Act 2004, a comprehensive law against domestic violence including physical, sexual, and emotional abuse.
Prevention and response. Violence against women is influenced by personal experiences, social context, and cultural norms. It is often normalized in society, with behaviors like jealousy seen as signs of love. Misconceptions, such as women being weak or men being aggressive, contribute to its persistence. Legal responses are inadequate, focusing more on reacting than preventing vow. There is need for better enforcement of laws, more education, and support for victims. Weak policies, lack of awareness, and stigma around reporting hindrance, society must reject vow and actively work to prevent it.